Welcome back to 6 Minutes. Glad you're here with us today.
So today we're talking about that awful moment when someone says something and your brain just goes completely blank.
Oh, this happened to me yesterday. I was at a work event, standing next to my manager's wife, and she told me about her weekend trip. And I just said, "Oh, that's nice."
That's nice? That's what you went with?
I know. And then there was this long silence. She looked at me like she was waiting for more. And I had nothing. Zero. My mind was empty.
So what did you do?
I panicked and said, "Yeah, sounds good." And then I pretended someone called my name and walked away.
Oh no. Okay. So that's nice and sounds good are both terrible when someone just told you a personal story. They sound like you don't care at all.
Exactly. But in that moment, I couldn't think of anything better. That's the problem. It's not that I don't know English words. It's that my brain freezes and I grab the first short phrase I can find.
I think a lot of people do that. They know hundreds of words, but under social pressure, they go straight to nice or cool or okay. And then the conversation just dies.
So here's what I've figured out since then. When you have nothing to say, the easiest trick is to repeat the last interesting thing the other person said, but as a question.
Wait, what do you mean? Give me an example.
Okay, so she said, "We drove up to the mountains and found this amazing little restaurant by the lake." And instead of saying "that's nice," I could have said, "By the lake?" Really?
Oh, that's so simple though. You're not even adding new information. You're just picking up one detail and bouncing it back.
Right. And it works because it shows you were actually listening. It gives them something to continue with. They'll naturally explain more.
Okay, let me try. So if someone tells me, "I just got back from 2 weeks in Japan," I could say, 2 weeks? That sounds amazing. How was it?
Perfect. You picked up a detail, reacted to it, and then added a small follow-up question. That's 3 seconds of talking, and now the other person has plenty to respond to.
But what about when someone tells you something and it's not exciting? Like, my coworker told me she spent the weekend organizing her garage. I can't pretend that's amazing.
No, you don't have to. But you can still show interest without lying. You could say something like, "Oh wow, did it take the whole weekend?" Or you could say, "I keep meaning to do that. Was it satisfying once you finished?"
So you're connecting it to something real instead of faking excitement.
Exactly. The worst thing is when your voice goes flat and you say, "Oh cool." Because depending on your tone, "oh cool" can sound like you're bored or even being sarcastic.
True. I've definitely heard people say "oh cool" in a way that actually means "please stop talking to me."
And they probably didn't mean it that way. Their brain was just empty and "oh cool" came out automatically.
Okay, so what about when the conversation has been going for a while and you genuinely run out of things to say? Not at the beginning, but like 5 minutes in.
That's different. At that point you don't need to keep it going forever. You can actually close it naturally. Something like, "Well, I'm really glad that worked out for you." Or, "That sounds like a great plan, honestly."
So you're wrapping it up warmly instead of just going silent.
Right. Going silent is what makes it awkward. But a warm closing sentence gives the other person permission to move on too. Most people are also looking for a natural exit.
Okay, let me test myself. Imagine you just told me a long story about fixing your car. And I have nothing left to say. How about, "Well, at least it's done now." That must be a relief.
That's great. It's natural, it's warm, and it doesn't sound like you're running away.
What if I said, "Anyway, good luck with that"?
That one's tricky. Good luck with that can sound dismissive. Like you're saying "I don't really care, but I hope it works out." It depends a lot on your tone. With a close friend, it's fine. With someone you don't know well, it might feel a little cold.
So the safer version would be something like, "Well, I hope it all goes smoothly for you."
Yeah, that's warmer. It shows you actually mean it.
Okay, one more situation. What if someone asks you a direct question and you genuinely don't have an opinion? Like, "What do you think about the new office policy?" And I honestly have no thoughts about it.
The worst answer is "I don't know." Because that sounds like you don't want to talk. A better option is, "Honestly, I haven't thought about it much. What's your take on it?"
Oh, so you're being honest about having no opinion, but you're turning it back to them. That keeps things moving.
And most people love giving their opinion. So you're actually giving them exactly what they want.
Alright, let me put this all together. So my coworker comes up and says, I just found out my sister is moving to Canada. What do I say? I'll try. Canada? Wow. Is she excited about it?
That's perfect. You picked up the key detail, reacted naturally, and asked something easy for them to answer. Nobody would ever know your mind was blank 2 seconds earlier.
Honestly, this makes me realize the goal isn't to be interesting. It's just to show the other person you're actually there with them.
That's exactly it. You don't need a brilliant response. You just need a human one.
So here's my question for everyone listening. What do you usually say when your brain goes blank in a conversation? Do you have a go-to phrase that saves you, or do you just panic like this one over here? Let us know.